I've always said that Tiger Woods, when he's half as good as he used to be, he's twice as good as anybody else. I wouldn't say that he's half as good or anywhere close to that, the player that he used to be.
Talent-wise, Tiger's going to get his game back from a hitting the golf standpoint. That's not going to leave him. He's got a great golf swing, and he has a great work ethic, so he'll get that back.
You want to know how good Tiger Woods really was? Today, golf legends are revealing secret information they kept hidden for years. Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, Johnny Miller, Brandel Chamblee, and Peter Alliss shared their honest thoughts about Tiger's fall. These 7 men have won every major in golf. They know what true greatness means, and what they say will change how you see Tiger forever. For over a decade, Tiger dominated golf like Superman. Nobody could beat him. His opponents feared him before the first shot, but the legends saw cracks underneath. If you want to hear more from golf legends, give this video some hype right now. Let's dive into the story. The fire hydrant crash happened on Thanksgiving night 2009. At 2:25 in the morning, Tiger's car hit a hydrant near his Florida home. The world saw tabloid headlines, but the legends saw confirmation of what they suspected. They had watched a man living 2 different lives. One was perfect. He was the greatest golfer alive, married with children, focused and controlled. The other life was hidden. The crash brought everything into the light. Golf is not like other sports. Golf relies on honesty and self-policing. There are no referees on the fairway. Golf is called the gentleman's game. It has traditions going back hundreds of years. The character of the champion must match the sport's beauty. The legends believed Tiger broke an unspoken contract with the game. In the days after the crash, these 7 men stepped forward. They were not interested in gossip. They cared about integrity and protecting the gentleman's game. Each one had a different perspective on what Tiger's fall revealed. Number 1 is Peter Alliss, a legendary British broadcaster. He values dignity and tradition above all. "It's been a bit of a shambles," Alliss said. "A very sad story for golf. He was the golden boy, and now the gold has been rubbed off to reveal something quite ordinary and a bit messy." To Alliss, being called ordinary is the worst insult to an icon. Alliss felt the entire affair had become a soap opera that overshadowed the game. The media circus made golf look cheap. Alliss was disappointed. He felt the golden boy image had been built on sand. When the truth came out, nothing was left but chaos and mess. Number 2 is Brandel Chamblee, a Golf Channel analyst known for being intellectual and relentless. To Chamblee, character is unified. If you are dishonest in one area of life, you will be dishonest in another. In 2013, at the Masters, Tiger took an incorrect drop and signed an incorrect scorecard. Chamblee saw something deeper. He compared Tiger to a student who cheats on an exam. "There is a lack of transparency," Chamblee wrote. "When you are a public figure of that magnitude, your private and professional character are linked." He failed the test. Chamblee explicitly connected Tiger's infidelity to his conduct on the course. If a man lies to his family for years, he will bend golf's rules when it suits him. This is ethical bleed. Tiger's camp was furious and threatened to sue, but Chamblee stood his ground. His job was to analyze the game fairly. Golf relies on integrity. Number 3 is Johnny Miller. Miller is famous for being unfiltered. He will say what others only think. Miller believed a direct connection existed between Tiger's private life and his golf game. You cannot live a lie and play great golf forever. Eventually, the truth catches up. Tiger's personal choices have cost him his peace of mind, and it shows on the scorecard, Miller said. Miller's insight was about cognitive load. Golf requires absolute focus. If you use 20% of your mental energy to hide secrets, you only have 80% for golf. Miller noticed Tiger's putting stroke got worse after the scandal. Putting is most nerve-dependent. Miller believed Tiger's turmoil showed up as jerky, uncertain putting strokes. Miller spoke constantly about peace of mind. The great champions like Nicklaus and Palmer had stable home lives. Tiger lost that stability. After the scandal, Tiger lived in constant fear. This state of mind is incompatible with winning majors. Miller's verdict was clear. Tiger had spent his mental capital on secrets. He was bankrupt on the course. Number 4 is Nick Faldo. Faldo is one of the greatest golfers in history and won 3 Masters tournaments. He is a cold, clinical thinker who understands the psychology of competition. Faldo understood the raw power of intimidation. For a decade, Tiger won tournaments before the first shot because opponents were terrified. Faldo called this invisible weapon the aura of invincibility. The scandal destroyed it completely. The intimidation factor is gone, Faldo said. Once the world saw his private life unravel, the Superman cape was taken off. He's just another golfer now, struggling with his own demons. Younger players no longer saw a deity. They saw a man with a bad back and a messy life. The fear was gone from the locker room. And without the fear and the intimidation, Tiger's greatest psychological weapon was rendered useless and powerless. Faldo predicted Tiger would struggle to finish tournaments and close out victories. And that prediction came true in the following years. Faldo also understood something about isolation and the human psyche. The aura had kept people away from him, but it had also kept reality away. When the aura broke, Tiger had no defense mechanisms left. Number 5 is Jack Nicklaus. Nicklaus is the measuring stick for all golfers who have ever played the game. Tiger spent his entire career chasing Nicklaus's record of 18 major championships. So Nicklaus saw the scandal through the lens of history and legacy. He viewed the events as a tragedy of wasted potential and lost focus and lost opportunities. Nicklaus publicly adopted a stance of diplomatic neutrality. "It's none of my business," he said repeatedly when asked about the scandal. This was a diplomatic shield protecting his privacy and the sport's tradition. Nicklaus came from an era where the press protected athletes from scrutiny. He believed in the sanctity of the private sphere and personal choice. But his repeated use of the phrase, "none of my business," sent another message underneath. It reinforced that such behavior was beneath the dignity of discussion when involving a champion of Tiger's stature. What Nicklaus really emphasized was the word tragedy. This was a deliberate and meaningful choice of language. Nicklaus knows tragedy personally and deeply. He lost his grandson Jake in 2005. When he called Tiger's situation a tragedy, it carried real weight and meaning. Nicklaus was comparing Tiger's self-inflicted wounds to genuine heartbreak and loss. He was saying that Tiger had thrown away his greatest opportunity in life. The record chase was derailed and would likely never be completed. The mental clarity and focus needed to catch Nicklaus's 18 majors was gone forever. Nicklaus understood that golf requires a clutter-free mind without distractions or secrets. He saw Tiger at Muirfield looking tired and slumped and broken. He recognized that the emotional toll had sapped the competitive fire required to win majors. Nicklaus also noted that a champion of Tiger's magnitude carries the weight of an entire sport on his shoulders. Sponsors depend on him and his drawing power. Television ratings depend on him and his name. The entire golf industry depends on him to be great and to perform at the highest level. Tiger had abdicated this responsibility completely. The tragedy was that the entire sport suffered because one man lacked the discipline to control himself and his choices. Everyone lost when Tiger fell. The sponsors lost money. The television networks lost ratings. The game lost its greatest star. And golf lost the narrative of a man chasing immortality. Number 6 is Arnold Palmer. Palmer is the king of golf. He was the architect of the modern professional golf tour. He built the industry that Tiger inherited. He saw in Tiger a successor who could carry the commercial and cultural weight of the game forward. Tiger won the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill 8 times. There was a deep paternal bond between them. So Palmer's reaction to the scandal was deeply personal. He was not a rival like Watson was. He was a disappointed father watching his son betray the family legacy. Palmer used one word over and over when discussing Tiger. That word was disappointed. "I'm disappointed," Palmer said. It's a tough situation for him, his family, and for the game of golf. In Palmer's vocabulary, disappointment was heavier than anger or condemnation. Palmer felt that Tiger had tarnished the integrity of the profession. Palmer's entire legendary career was built on approachability and genuine integrity. He shook every hand offered to him. He signed every autograph requested. He was the anti-elite figure who made golf accessible. Tiger's secret life of seclusion and infidelity was the opposite of the Palmer way. Palmer believed that Tiger had betrayed the trust of his mentors and the older generation. Tiger was now isolated, cut off from the guidance of the legends who came before him. Palmer regretted deeply that he could not have straightened Tiger up before the crash happened. Tiger himself later admitted that he missed Palmer's guidance. Tiger said he wished he could have had Palmer's help to straighten things out. This admission confirmed Palmer's secret influence and his worries. Palmer had seen Tiger drifting away from the values of the game. The scandal was confirmation of his worst fears about where Tiger was headed. Palmer's critique was clear and specific and unambiguous. Tiger had surrounded himself with enablers and yes men rather than true mentors and guides. The people around Tiger told him what he wanted to hear. They did not tell him the hard truth. They did not challenge him or guide him toward better choices and better behavior. Number 7 is Tom Watson. Watson is the guardian of etiquette in golf. His entire career was defined by stoic adherence to the rules and deep reverence for the game's history. Watson criticized Tiger more severely and more consistently than any other legend. His critique was not limited to the infidelity scandal. It was holistic and comprehensive. Watson saw the on-course petulance, the club throwing, and the bad language long before the scandal broke publicly. To Watson, the secret was that Tiger had never truly been a gentleman in the way the sport demanded. In early 2010 at the Dubai Desert Classic, Watson delivered his verdict. He did not mince words or soften his message. Tiger has to take ownership of what he's done, Watson said. He must clean up his act and show some respect for the game. His behavior was a disappointment to everyone who looks up to a champion. The phrase clean up his act was a deliberate choice with specific meaning. It is a phrase used in the context of rebellious youths or criminals seeking rehabilitation. Watson was infantilizing Tiger. He was stripping him of his professional stature and treating him like a child who needed correction. Watson explicitly compared Tiger to the icons of the past. I feel that he has not carried the same stature as the other great players that have come along like Jack Nicklaus, Byron Nelson, and Hogan, in the sense that there was bad language and club throwing on the golf course. This comparison was devastating and permanent. Watson was saying that while Tiger might have the records, he did not have the class to sit at the same table as Nelson or Hogan. Watson demanded more than just apologies and statements. He wanted a genuine change in behavior and character. He felt the media and the tour had enabled Tiger's behavior for too long. They had created a monster that felt it was above the law. Together, these 7 legends created a complete and devastating picture of Tiger's fall. Each one attacked a different pillar of Tiger's life and career. Watson targeted his etiquette and respect for the game. Palmer emphasized his isolation and loss of guidance. Nicklaus framed it as a tragedy of wasted potential. Faldo explained the destruction of his psychological weapon and aura. Miller connected his private turmoil to his golf performance. Chamblee linked his private dishonesty to his professional integrity. And Alliss called the entire affair a shambles that made the sport look ordinary. The collective verdict of these men is unmistakable and clear and decisive. Tiger Woods was the greatest golfer who ever lived. But his fall was not an accident or a mistake. It was inevitable. The legends understood something that the general public did not. They understood that the life Tiger was living could not possibly hold together forever. A man cannot live on a foundation of lies and secrets. The structure eventually collapses under its own weight. Miller saw the mental exhaustion building year after year. Faldo saw the isolation deepening as Tiger withdrew from a genuine connection and real friendship. Watson saw the arrogance growing as Tiger felt himself above the rules. Chamblee saw the ethics eroding as the private lies bled into professional behavior. Each legend saw a different crack in the facade, but they all knew the wall would eventually fall. The center could not hold. The foundation was sand. The greatest tragedy is that Tiger had the talent to do anything he wanted. He could have been the greatest golfer in history, both on and off the course. He could have been a role model for generations of young golfers. But he chose a different path. He chose to live 2 different lives. He chose to hide the truth. And eventually the world saw behind the curtain. What they found was not evil in a moral sense. They found something that felt worse to an icon. They found ordinariness. They found a man who was just human and flawed like everyone else. In 2019, Tiger won the Masters tournament again. This victory offered a chapter of redemption and showed he could still compete. But the redemption was incomplete and limited. The legend's judgments from 2009 to 2013 remained the definitive account of the middle years. Tiger had won 15 major championships by then, but the secret history was written by the men who watched it all unfold. That history recorded not just the trophies and victories. It recorded the tragedy of wasted years. It recorded the shambles and mess. It recorded the Superman cape being removed. It recorded the peace of mind being destroyed. The lesson here is simple and important. Greatness is not measured only by trophies and championship wins. Greatness is also measured by the standard you live by when nobody is watching and judging. Tiger Woods had unprecedented talent and ability, but talent alone is not enough. The character you build is what sustains you when pressure comes. Tiger built his character on sand, and when the pressure came, it crumbled. That is what the legends saw. That is what they said, and that is what history will remember. If this deep dive into the legends' secret judgments changed how you now see Tiger Woods today, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below with your own thoughts. What do you think about what these legends said? Do you agree with their verdicts? The discussion matters. Thank you for watching.